lot of poetry slams on like YouTube, and I wanted to come and see the talent at our school. I'm impressed. What are you laughing at me?
Learn metaphor, guys. Learn metaphor, guys.
What inspired you to write your poem?
Shade.
Well, mainly it was just like the urge to get back up on stage, because like I know I wanted to get up there and do something tonight, but I didn't know what, because I left my book at home. I didn't have anything to be prepared, so I was like, you know what? Let's write something. I wrote it in like 5 minutes before I went up. I was like, what can I write about? I love the stage and going up on stage. Might as well. And the whole step away from the mic thing was a metaphor for actually being up on stage and the production of the play, the musical, the opera itself. And yeah.
Okay, the Poetry Slam was fantastic tonight. Like, I'm really impressed with the amount of talent that everybody here has. It was astounding. I'm actually like impressed with the turnout. That there was more people than I thought there was going to be, and I'm really happy about that because I always thought slam poetry was like one of the most honest forms of expressing yourself, and so I'm glad that people were here to see that.
And they make friends.
The Poetry Slam was awesome. You know, I felt like I had to begin the whole thing because, you know, I'm a leader, natural leader. You know, I had to go first. They were like, who volunteers to go? I could have sworn no one else would have volunteered to go if it wasn't me. But it was an amazing turnout. Go next year, you'll have a great time. Harmon, name. Got it.
You want to be scored?
Sure, why not? Alright. Do I start?
Go ahead.
Yes? I've seen you in the halls. I've seen you while passing. No, my eyes aren't real, but thank you for asking. My name is Marcus Love. I'd like to know yours. I'm an open book, just like open doors. I know you for a while. We should hang out soon. You can come over and chill, but please, don't go in my room. You see, prom is coming up. I was wondering if you were going. I'm 5'11" now, and I think I'm still growing. You made a good choice, saying yes to me. I just wanted you to know that you're the best place I can be.
And I'm from Hilo High School. And my poem is called Black and Blue. Sorry? Traitors never play hangman, so here's to you, Dad. Hospital after hospital, when you finally say, get out. Did the blood from my arms stain your carpet? Did my tears cause a flood? Feeling so low, 6 feet under was my way to go. Your love is none, your care is gone. You'll never understand that the things you said, worthless, disappointment, and die, are all carved into my skin, my arms and legs to remember your taunts. So this is my fault. How about the words that hurt worse than the razors that kiss my skin, which is more I ever got from you? And now you say you miss me and come home? I'd rather slit my throat with the knife you left in my back. Yet I'm choking on my words, like I've got a noose around my throat. But I'm not coming home tonight, so close your eyes and look at defeat.
My name is Bobby Luna, and I love this school.
What campus are you from?
Maine. It's called Beer and Wine. I'm more like beer on a Saturday night, like bottled water from the cheapest rack. $5 shirts and jeans that I fold because of my height. There's no sport cars, just a muddy truck. The only sparkle I have are the stars, and the only spotlight I need is the moon. So simple but unknown, like the mysteries in Mars. I made my own road, my name is Supreme. I wear a crown in my heart, not in my head. With the belief that simplicity can make pain go away. There's no 5-star dinners, just blessed like it said. I didn't die yesterday and I woke up today. I'm more like a good cat with family and friends. Don't belong in shiny dresses and fancy events. Burping and laughing, yes, it's okay. Nothing better than a relaxing Sunday. Walking through nature with my best friend. Happy and smiling, we can call us playing Jimmy. Mary and I walk through the woods hand in hand, till midnight watching the falling rain. I'm more like beer on a Saturday night, like Mary making me smile at the beautiful clouds, like reading a book that wasn't assigned, like meaning to hear what people say by reading their mouths. I'm more like beer on a Saturday night. I will never be wine. Oddly, I'm more than okay with that.
Hi, my name is Grace Mathis. I come from Killa, and judges, I would love for my poem to be scored. And today, I'll be performing for you an open letter to the one after me. Congratulations! You're the one of the few people who realize the boy I'm dating is worth the time of day. You probably discovered this while praying to him over one of your exes. From this moment on, you shall henceforth be known as Queen, since you'll be treated like one 99% of the time. The other 1% of the time, he'll forever. It's within your best interest to part back. You two will probably become best friends. Beware, no conversation is too awkward for him. To him, the female anatomy is fascinating. If you get uncomfortable, just describe a graphic surgery from Taos. Not only will you get him to be quiet, but he'll pass out so you can draw his face with a Sharpie. But there's more to him, to us, than meets the eye. A lot more. You gained a friend who will break his own heart apart to find the pieces to fix yours. He'll climb down the ravine you're barely hanging on to just to catch you when you fall. He'd buy you chocolate with his last dollar, which is why I hope there will never be a girl with supplies to.
My name is Haley Gross, and I'm from Kilo, and I would like to be scored. And my poem is called Unconditional Love. Love. No, not the sensation she gets when butterflies swarm in the realms of her unstrung stomach, palms flooded in perspiration. Her words are restricted by the hesitation of rationalization, to wrap the boy she adores in a blanket of warmth. As if the moon whispered to the sun not to awake the earth, because he found it engrossing to witness the calm. Let alone could she speak, the words at the tip of her tongue. Unconditional love. Yes, glorifying the concept to please others and love them before yourself. When my mama taxis me miles around the neighborhood, her 2009 Ford Escape trudging along the tangled and tasseled bridges of the road, begging for a sip of energy that keeps it alive. Despite the fact that she's been wakeful since 5:30 this morning, and the astromentus bag encircling her perception screaming for mercy. When my daddy lives 250 miles away, yet he insists to catch a glimpse of my life whenever possible. Sometimes even when not conceivable, risking hours on a job to be with me because he mostly desires those moments engulfed in cartoons and devouring ice cream with me at 11 o'clock in the midst of a desk. When my best friend seeks out my best interests, I may not always acknowledge her notion, but she wishes to lead me on an honorable path. When my coach pushes me to be the best Haley I am capable of being. And it took me a while to figure out, fitting the seemingly missing puzzle pieces together, but when he squawks at me, it's not at all out of resentment and longing to pour his childhood into mine. Rather, fear that I may not see the potential he sees in me. Here's the unconditional love. Love that means meeting others' wants and needs, even when it means melting and forgetting worries of your own. My mama once told me the world would shove my insecurities down my throat and force me to swallow my pride for who I am and aspire to be. But no matter what, no matter the words unspoken, the future unwritten, the circumstances unseen, she would always love and embrace me to the best of her abilities. But maybe, just maybe, you don't have those people in your life to support and lead you through the constant treacherous journey. Well, guess what? Boy, do I have some news for you. Yes, the people and things of this earth will fail you at some point or another. But you have a king, the most perfect of all kings, who yearns for the best out of every ounce of you. He never sees you as a glass half empty, nor does he trace and count the imperfections sheltering your body as if you were a connected dot temple. No princes and princesses, he is not of this earthly world. How could he be? This temporary shock habitat is permeating with pain, sorrow, and suffering, but he or king will diminish all of it soon. Yes, I'm talking about the big man upstairs. So when no one else embraces your faults and imperfections, remember this. He loves you more than my words will ever be printed or shouted. He's already extended his hand out to you because he knows you are broken and shattered and beat by this world. But he still wants you, and you with your hoodie concealing your broken heart, music blaring in your ears, shutting out the world. He desires all of you. Will you be willing to accept his embrace?
My name is Jose Gonzalez, and I'm going to read a poem called The Queen.
Do you want to be scored?
Oh yes, I want to score.
And you're from main campus?
Yes, I'm from
And yes, right up on that line.
Okay. The queen of obsession, the queen of deception, the one who knew of affection to keep the impression that she was not mended by forgiveness, but rather forgetful when it came to telling herself, because she cared with the wave and loved with forgetting, because she is beautiful and brown, counting roses and petals that never stuck around, because she was deeply mistaken, because all who would pass her would think of her pretty, but she was leveled to the ground, because she was mornings, twilights, and noons. Everything about her, I loved and I knew how she dared for heaven and tore up the earth, just giving this sense of happiness that she could never grasp for her own. An artist had deceived in her heart, wondering bruised. She told me, you can never love too much, but be prepared when they hurt you, because people like us tend to lose. Wondering bruised. That's what happens to those who loved and are used. A standing perspective between love and affection, because she knew the difference between fight and flight. Because you will always fight for what you love, but they will always fight when you no longer offer them what they want. She kept a steady pace, no tremble in her eyes. She is the only dream that I know in this life, because the thin line between pain and strength were held in her arms, where warriors became men. Because no matter the strength that I perceived to have, every broken edge of a chambered frame promised to ease when she held me. Nevertheless, I could never offer her in return what she offered me, salvation. Because the wonder of life and no longer the wonder of wise, because I believe she will tell me everything in time. While I would cry, while I would try, while there was always a goodbye. I wish I could grasp every moment, every memory from the beginning of time, because time only began when she came into my life. Because if she were to ever leave, I would lose everything that is beautiful, and every regret that I still hold to condemn me. Because no matter how much I hurt her, she always tells me how much she loves me. And I feel useless when she's broken inside, and I see her agony, and all I can do is try. Because maybe there's defects in this world that have no reason to be, but I'm always waiting for this to be fixed, because I don't know how to fix a broken heart, because I never know what to do after falling apart. Because she taught me how to love and how to care. Because she taught me how to always be there. And so I stand proudly today and say this with the greatest affection. Long live the Queen, my mother.
Give us your name.
I'm Liz. I'm from main campus, and my poem is called Counting.
Do you want to be scored?
Yeah, sure. I can't count the times I thought of you. The image of your hand gracing mine, your face looking towards me, your fingertips, to being in my skin and pulling up goosebumps I can never be rid of. I can't count the times I wanted to erase those from my head. The sweet whispered words of always and forever that buried themselves within my mind and snapped back out of my happiness, making sure I remember what used to be. I can't count the times I wished I had never met you. You see, it made me like a broken violin. You drowned out the calls of my loved ones who heard the noise of your own pictures of how beautiful it sounded. You stapled my ears shut with the promises and made sure I couldn't hear the truth. I can't count the times I regretted you. The way she pulled me back in with the confidence of more beauty than all me, she tattooed in the back of my head memories of the girls who could whisper to it instead. I can't count the times I told myself you weren't worth it. Tears that lifted themselves from my eyes and melted in my throat with the secrets I knew you kept from me. The secrets the girl I knew would tear the stars from the sky for you if you could say you loved her like she loved you. I can't count the times I hoped I was paranoid, that those sightless glances and long-distance messages were a figment of my imagination, the feelings you had for me, and they didn't have to wrap your lies into my skin to believe they were real. I Thanks to you, my definition of love was lost in translation. My appreciation for my independence withered away with your lack of faith, and I never knew I could detest myself so much for what I let you do. For you, I stapled shut my opinions, burned down bridges, and cauterized the wounds you left after every syllable. For you, I waged wars with those I loved and dented the trust I had in myself. I would have melted my words with silver bullets to get rid of the monsters in your hands. I can't count the times I wish I could tell you this to your face. So you could see the scars from this pride I swallowed for you, claw its way back out. I can't count the times I asked if I ever truly loved you. If you could love the monster under your bed of your reoccurring nightmare. I asked myself this to remember what you did to me. The ceramic doll you slapped and crushed, the ego boost you felt deserving, the rebound you didn't realize I was. I count the times I'm thankful that you're gone. When I feel the cracks in my bones begin to heal and when your name hits my ears with bittersweet apathy. I'm thankful you're gone. And the memories of you did deserve to be counted.
Hello, I'm Maddie Barra. I'm from the main campus. This is missing corpus callosum. When my dad dies, he says he wants to be cremated and his ashes spread in Seattle with the bald eagles. When my mom dies, she says she wants to be cremated, her ashes spread in Pensacola, Florida, on the pier with the birds. They hate each other so much, even subconsciously, that even when they die, they want to be as far away from each other as possible. I have a picture of them. They were holding each other in front of the fireplace. This was before they decided to have me. Still, their eyes were dead. They made sure that they had a kid together. They chose to make a lifelong commitment, but they weren't even in love. They chose this without thinking about me. If they had been honest, if they had had the courage to love, we wouldn't be in this position. But they've never been good at that, have they? Still, after all these years, I am left out of their thoughts. I've spent 8 years without a father suddenly to return, and 10 with a sick, selfish mother. What did I get out of this? A heart full of hate, a responsibility I didn't ask for, a life wrecked with disappointment, and a story that's not even my own.
Hi, I'm Dylan Reyna. I'm Dylan Reyna from main campus. Score me if you want to. This is a poem I just wrote 5 minutes ago called Stage. "7 years to date, I've called myself an actor. 4 years today has that name been a factor. A tool for survival to let the far all urge into the wild step into another life, in case yours became too mild. Because when life fades to white and the day fades to gray, and you wish to rid your lips of a tongue of dismay, and you wish that you could say the words that ring hooray, and the light as you stood and said the word, play. Musical, opera, I'm a 7-year stage-based life hopper. I've been up, I've been down, businessman and clown. The stage has given me a life to help me turn my arm around. As I crawl into stand, placed in a new land, for a brief moment I forget, lose the dull and bland. As God reaches down and gives his command to go find his holy grail, you say yes, yes, yes I do, as you marry words with your tongue. To those with a tongue transferred to another world, where the linear is gone, no structure, dusk to dawn. You make art of the wreckage, not just in this world, but in the present. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Annie Washington. I go to Killow, and I would like to be scored. This is called Beauty. Our generation is too blind to see where true beauty lies, beneath the skin. Every morning girls wake up with an empty canvas. They paint on the makeup, they still don't feel beautiful. This generation has set too many standards for beauty. Fat gaps, perfect skin, long straight hair. I'm tired of looking to the models. I don't want to be compared.
I'm a teenager. Acne will happen. My hair will be in a messy bun sometimes. Nobody's perfect. True beauty isn't on the outside, it's on the inside. Beneath the makeup and the tight clothing, personality shows true beauty, not the mascara on her eyes, or the lipstick on her lips, or the skinny jeans on her legs. Our generation is too blind to see true beauty lies beneath the skin.
Hi, my name is Eric. I'm from Kilo, and I would like for you to break it.
All right, it's hard to hear you.
All right. Right here?
Yes.
I didn't grow up in the hood or gangs killing one another, but I did grow up with my mother and father. I went to school in trouble I made, but that doesn't compare to living with fear and hunger every day. My mother wishes me to go to college and graduate, while other mothers wish to see their son home and safe. My dad, I love him to death, but without him, my world would end. I've tried to imagine him life without him, but I also try to understand the ones who don't have them with them. So I'm spreading the word that not only the ones who go through the worst and live in the hood, but also, wait, okay, my bad. Alright, got lost. I'm spreading the word that not the, wait, my bad again. I'm spreading the word that not only the ones who live in the hood or go through the worst, but also us who live in the woods feel confused. We're not rich or poor, but we're still hungry for success. Thank you.
My name is Juan Green. I go to the main campus, and the poem that I wrote is called Dream. Do you believe you can control your fate, or is it already predestined? Because a dream in my mind goes on while I'm resting, contradicting my question. A dream where I'm sitting in a small room, gloom is the feeling of which darkens it, giving proof that my life is a spiraling downward cycling loop. It's false, yet true, but my thoughts are disturbed by a sound that I heard in the room. Looking around pointlessly, forgetting my question. Complacement was before, then suddenly my heart begins racing. The hair on my skin stands up abruptly in displacement. Silence. Someone's presence has been awakened. I squint to see who has joined me. My eyes rest only to see an old man who looks lonely, dressed in beat-up shoes with rough jeans and torn-up clothing. I then focus my gaze on his face, which has a deep scar going across the side of his cheek with a bandage on his ear. His expression appeared to show happiness, and it became clear that his real emotion was fear. Why? I don't know, but that was the question I asked. He then looked at me with envy, and with 4 words he said, "It was my past." Confused by an answer, I asked him again why. Not moving a muscle, he kept his focus on me and then sighed, replied, with the same answer before and said, "It was my past." Enraged by his response, I stood up from my chair, pissed off by how his answers were not being clear, and I told him, "How can you be so stupid and your life be so sad? You should be focused on your future, not worrying about your past. Black men relish on what we had instead of worrying about worrying what we have." What was it that made your life turn out like this? Was it falling and smoking, hoping that black teenagers would turn out the way you hoped them to be? Or was it the common excuse to say that you were not thinking? I find it disappointing that your status equals up to trash, and that out of all the excuses you could have gave me, you tell me that it's your past. With a look of regret and distraught, he then spoke, and forever opened my eyes. He said, "Young man, I am the way that I am because of my lies." Overwhelmed by the thought that I would never amount to anything, I became lazy in the way that I think. You have to understand that my perception of life was wrong, not right. I let society run over me instead of fight. I took my mind off the main fight, which is success. I am the future you. This is what happens when peer pressure forces you to do the wrong things. This society has scared me to remind me that the world does not care if you rise or fall. Jobs have deafened my ears and have taught me to listen before I speak. You perceive me to be happy because that's what the economy forces me to do. I am forced to cover up my fear. Here, for I have lost my faith in humanity too. The next time you speak, say yes ma'am or no ma'am. Don't let pants hang low. Show that you are smarter than the average teen. You are the future of this world, not the past. You should always be the first, never last. Be, never try to be. Yes, you can control your fate. Yes, you can be better than me. Yes, it's good to dream, but just don't dream. Turn that dream into reality.
I'm Adrian Lee. My main one is at Pillow, and I would love it if you scored me. This is called Lucky. I heard it loud and clear, over thunderclap so harsh it seemed to rain inside. It was me. My voice pierced, cut by drawbacks from needed life to cry for help. It hurt. The arms that closed in on my body, sealing away the world around me, leaving nothing but happy memories and warm feelings. Water, saltier than the deepest oceans, cascaded down from broken glass. I didn't know why then. 15 years adopted, and I didn't know why. But it hurt. 14 years of comfort. Not one lost bear to cry for because there was never a shortage of stock for her to cling to. 13 years of words. Always something to say and someone to respond to. Endless babble about flowers that always bloomed because they could. 12 years of Band-Aids. A new one every day of the week because they cared. 11 years of chocolate cake. My favorite because it was the same color as Dad, who lived 400 miles away but loved me more than I knew you could love another person. 14 and a half years of family. Mine, and they were there and I know why. It hurt so bad and I knew why. I had it. What so many wanted. Lucky. I was always the lucky one. 2 families. Both mine. 2 moms, 2 dads, 6 siblings, 5,292 days that I got lucky. And one night that I didn't. I cried so hard. They told me I was selfish. I didn't know what I had. 2 years of yelling. Teenagers, right? 104 weeks of missed hugs. 24 months of slammed doors. One night of nothing. And an eternity of home. Yeah, I'm lucky.
Okay. Hi, my name is Destiny Guines. I'm going to be doing a poem called 2 Years Ago Today. And yeah, I'd like to be school. Oh, no, I'm from Kilo. I don't think that you ever imagined how much pain I would be in once you were gone. Because if you had, I know you wouldn't have loved me. Words cannot express the amount of emotions that have come with trying to let you go. Every day has been a struggle. It's been 2 years, and it's still hard for me to grasp that you're really gone. Sometimes still, I don't know what to do with myself. There have been days that I didn't want to get out of bed, but I had to. And days that if I allowed myself, I could cry and cry and cry. And 2 years later, I could still sit and stare at pictures of us. Sometimes I sit with them by my side. And I never thought I'd have to say it. But I miss your voice. I miss your smile, your eyes, your touch, your smell, your phone calls. A pain built up so deep inside me that I never wanted anyone to see. So I take the pain and I lock it up and throw away the key. Because if this pain comes out of the bottle for you to see, you would not know the one to think you know, because I'm not even me. The one I was 2 years ago disappeared the day you left. My soul is caught ablaze and sunk into the depths. I smile on the outside, but within my heart is rage. A beautiful vase, filled with poison. My sadness turns to hate, my hate turns to love, and now that's all I have to hold from you. Closest to my soul. So I had to be strong, not for me, but for everyone else. I wanted to cry, I wanted to scream, but I couldn't let her see my goblet of tears. I kept the thoughts near me just to keep me sane. But the thoughts of you make me sad. I wanted to hide and cry alone, but you are here, in some way. And I know you've left solid ground, but in my heart you're still alive. You kept me together for so long, so I will stay strong. Not for me, but for everyone else. Thank you.
My name is Shane Packer. I am from the Kilo campus, and the title of my poem is Love and War.
You want to be scored or unscored?
I would like to be scored, please. If I could change anything in the world, it would be this.
Why do we always have to fight for what we want? Couldn't a simple, hey, may I have some, be enough? It just seems like everywhere we look, it's war. What no one realizes is that the people that are there have no reason to be there. They have families to take care of. It's just like that one poem called The Walls of Baghdad. It says the walls of Baghdad were built to keep peace, but feel like prison. It's comparing the walls of Baghdad to a POW camp. There are innocent people that did nothing wrong that are surrounded in that POW camp. Like my friend has told me, you will never make peace unless you fight for it. So if anyone out there can hear this, if anybody out there in our rank is listening, please make peace, not more. Think before you pull that trigger whose dad or father you are killing and how depressed they will be when they find out about their dad or father's death. Just think about it before you pull that trigger.
My name is Lamorne Jones, and I go to Kilo campus.
You want me to score?
Yes, sir. The title of my poem is called Life. Life for me is like a movie. There's always an ending. Some people make the cut, and some people just gain extra. My name is Lamorne. I like to denominate myself as amazing, because no one has that name, not even the spell check box. I can feel a vitality that I will make wonderful things happen. I know that half of the population will determine to doubt me because I'm too inexperienced. But crisis that's happening in the world. Let me tell you something. When you're making speculations about everybody, I will stay and research what's going on before you do. So before calling me inexperienced, you better check yourself. What did you do that was amazing? I'm trying to make the world a better place by picking all the pieces. As long as I'm here, this is my occupation.
Yeah.
Do you want the score?
Yes. When you pick up a rose, it's no longer beautiful. When you take out your umbrella, it's no longer music. When you reminisce deep down, it's hurtful. Face to face with life and you curse it. As time rapidly passes you by, the rose petals slowly turn black. You lose the chance for a simple hi. And you feel the night upon you, beautiful dark. Can you hear it? Can you hear the sound as the sky cries? A million angels lullaby. But you're deaf to the sound. Put away your umbrella and feel the new sensation found. Beauty is meant to be admired, not cut down and slaughtered. Ownership is death. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Next time you pick up the rose. In a few days it will no longer be love. And when it rains, stay outside. See and feel beauty, the real meaning of life.
Hey everybody, my name is Adrian. I go to Maine, and this is a poem that I wrote a while ago. And you really get the courage to say it somehow.
You want to score?
Yes. Rather hear about what could have been or what was. Rather hear about the mainstream than the unknown. Rather hear about the light than others. Rather hear about family than struggles. Rather hear about the hearts that you broke and the those that you left behind. No doubt my mind. That'll make you feel better. But hey, for all I know, I just want to be inside and do some tests.
I promised my students that I would do a poem tonight, but this is unscored. You want to score me? It doesn't count the competition. Close your eyes. Feel the fear flow through you and allow an introduction. Mr. Fee, a fusion of futuristic fury found here today to forewarn this fraternity of the forgotten. Firm, not finicky resolve must ferment your foundations. Fear not, and fidget not in your false comfort. The fortified, federal instigated, formulaic existence is one in which you have forsaken and forfeited your fields of dreams. Flash back to the fantastic delights of your frolicsome youth, in which you floated amongst the flowers and flew footloose, not yet captured by the folklore of a funeral of fog forged to flip the fragments of your existence. Fear, fetters the fervid and yet festive fellowship found in our fiefdoms. Feeling your faith fade in Fahrenheit's fallen, fabrications, fables, facades, the faceless, facetious facsimiles found surrounding our society's factions exploit force with a factual faintness that reframes faculties and yet veils the familial falsehoods, eating away at our freedom, foreshadowing fatalism. Feeling forgotten, the federal feasts upon the feckless, feeble-minded featherweights of the world, felonious feelings spinning off the phenomenal. Fortify your essence by never floundering for this false, frighteningly clever path, promising franchises, delivers ferocious fiends worse than that formed by Dr. Frankenstein. Is it fortune or a foxhole you find yourself flailing in as you forget the filthy fiscal nature that forces so many to fly into freakish rage? Find strength, faith, not finality. Fluorescent lights flash what you can forbear. Bring forth a finale to the flow of the embodied forerunners of power. Say farewell to their force, find folly in the way they flourish. Your position is not one of a futile nature. You must simply let go of the frivolous, expose the fraud, allow them to call you frantic as you fricassee and freeze enough of their power to frame your own existence. Call forth for everyone fresh freedom that can function forever. Freedom forever. Pay a fee, as I have, thus my name, and rip off the mask, the puppet strings, and everything in between, and fiercely face forever with freedom in your heart. Be faithful, be ferocious, be phenomenal, and you will be forever. Sherwan Green. Sherwan, come on up here if you're still here. Ms. Hardaway is very excited to show your prizes. In second place, with a score of 40 points, a perfect score, Jose Gonzalez. And achieving the impossible in first place with an above perfect score of 40.1, Maddie Ybarra. Come on up here, Maddie.
I didn't realize how many talented poets we had at Lewisville High School, so I look forward to our next Poetry Slam, and hopefully some more poets will come out and join us. Thanks. I was completely impressed by the obvious Poetry Slam experiences that our second place winner had, and the pure poetry nature of our first place winner. All three were amazing, but I'm excited to see how that progresses and how this first annual event grows into a yearly, even bigger event later.
I am honored to have participated as a judge tonight, and I enjoyed this very first Poetry Slam competition. The Kilo students really made an impression, and so many of them participated tonight. So let's get more people on board next year and fill this place up. It was a great experience. Thank you to all the poets.
I'm Leanna Massengale, and I was honored to be a judge at the first annual LHS Poetry Slam. This school is just flooded with talent. These kids really brought it tonight, and if you missed it, that is too bad for you. Be here next year so you can see what this school has to offer. It was a great night.
Well, this is my first time ever coming to a Poetry Slam, and I got the honor to record everybody's poems, and I would say everybody did a good job. Even though I'm not a judge, I would have graded everybody a really high grade because it was interesting listening to people's poems. Thank you.
I really enjoyed it. Elizabeth's poem, I cried. It was really touching to me. I wish I would have had the courage to go up there myself, but I didn't, and now I regret it. But it was fun. I'm glad I came.